everyone. This is Mortgage Pros 411. I'm Audrey Boysnow with my co-host Kevin Casey, and today we are joined by the very smart Megan Anderson, who is going to teach us many wonderful things. I apologize for our tardy beginning. Apparently the clock isn't working this morning. Not really sure why. Good Lord. Anyway, how are you guys?
We're doing good now that we're here. You had me nervous.
We're here. Thank God it's not last week. So happy that's over. And just to start us off with a bang, we've got a big week this week, just in case you haven't noticed, a lot of stuff going on in the economy. So tomorrow, Wednesday, we're expecting ADP to come in with 145,000 job creations. We're going to have the end of the Fed meeting, they're meeting right now, kids, and the decision of whether they're going to raise or not. The expectation is they will stay steady. But the very important part is, what does Mr. Powell say? What will fall out of his mouth, and how will that move the market? So that's what we're looking for tomorrow. It's a biggie. And then Friday, we have my favorite, BLS. They're expecting Bureau of Labor Statistics, 180,000 job creations, and they're expecting the unemployment rate to go from 3.7 to 3.8. So of course, that's always fun to explain, as the jobs are being created and the unemployment rate is going up. Um, they,
I not explain that, but I think
well,
Megan does too.
well, of course, but if you're just reading a headline, it's not
Mhm.
necessarily the most, obvious thing, right? So it is, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I thought it was interesting, Megan, the other day I was watching the interview that Barry and you did with Mike Fratantoni, the
Yes.
chief economist for MBA, and he really excused BLS's number. He's like, numbers. He's like, well, they have a very tight budget and they don't have a lot of people. And I'm like, why are we okay with this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send him a Christmas card and mention a few things. I don't know. I just couldn't believe my ears. So
Well, he
anyway,
dealt with the struggle though. He understands, but
right.
Yeah,
But
but I mean, honestly, they could get
okay.
closer numbers just by using the numbers from the previous months and say, well, what's the trend? Let's stay with the trend and not
Yeah,
make
or
up
that
some.
ADP number. That ADP number is more kind of,
Yeah.
finger on the pulse looking at payrolls. So
well, we got jolts this morning, job openings and labor turnover. And in that number, so it went from 8.9 million to 9 million. It was 11 million a year ago, just to be clear. So it's up from last month, but not up from a year ago. But there's a lot of double counting in that number. So
yeah.
it's like, I'm just a real fan of, could we get our numbers straight before we release them to the public? And by the way, the fact that you keep revamping your estimates and that moves markets, up until they release everything, it drives me crazy.
I know. None of the fundamentals make any sense anymore.
I know. Okay, so we're gonna dive in with I have a whole lot of other things to share with folks, but I want to make sure we get through your presentation today. And it was funny yesterday, Kevin goes, "What are we talking about tomorrow?" I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, really? Really? You don't? Like, he literally, it was almost like he was like, sure, you don't. You're just not telling me. I'm like, dude, it has something to do with using AI to create reels. That is literally all I know. I am not hiding anything from you. So, Megan,
Yes.
please enlighten us. And just know that last time you were on, people really used that information
Good.
and were able to incorporate it into their business. So, they
I love
went to the YouTube channel, Mortgage Pros 411,
Yep.
and they could slow it down. Usually I tell people, go and listen on YouTube and you can speed it up. And no, on you, they slowed it down so they could really follow the steps, which were really clear. And so that was great. So I'm actually very excited about today. So let's get going.
Good. You guys should be excited about today because we are going to create reels for you guys from a past episode. So, everyone listening here today, what we are going to be accomplishing is we are going to be using AI, right? Everyone's heard of AI at this point. I am a firm believer that we need to utilize AI. Why would we not want to be more productive and just get done with the BS stuff that we don't even like to do with our job anyways, right? Just get it done so we can spend more time focusing on whatever it is, going to the gym, spending more time with family, having empathetic conversations with our customers, right? These are all things that AI is never going to be able to do. But how great is it that we have AI to help us get through the stuff that we don't want to do? So, what we're going to be doing today is taking long form content. So, things like this episode that we're doing right now, or maybe you have a really hard time sitting down and saying, okay, how do I talk about the benefits of buying versus renting in a 30-second clip? Like, that is just so hard. And honestly, it is challenging. It's hard to be that concise. So, what might be a better tactic for you is to say, all right, you know what? I like long form content. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start a YouTube channel where maybe I spend 20 minutes talking about the benefits of buying versus renting. If that seems easier for you to do that. But what I'm going to show you today is how to take that longer form content and turn it into micro content for things like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, right? All these little things that people are paying attention to and are grabbing their attention. I'm going to show you how to do it today. So let's go ahead and let's get started. And, before we even get started, I want you guys to know I'm getting back with it when it comes to my newsletter. I love AI right now, and I am spending the next couple months reviewing all different AI tools and creating videos on them, just like we are here today, and recapping them in my newsletter. So if you want to get that and be a part of that, just text Megan, MEGAN, to 33777. And that will get you initiated so that I pop up in your inbox and hopefully not into your spam folder. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So all we're going to do is we are going to go to a YouTube page, right? So I already did this. I already did this by going to your guys' page and you'll see. But let's say, one thing I haven't done is you mentioned the Mike, Frat, and Tony webinar. I have not turned this into micro content yet. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it. Great. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to copy this link. Now, the AI tool that we're using today is we are using Opus Clip. Okay. So I am going to come here and you can sign up. You can get a free account of this. You only get like an hour worth of content and then you can upgrade. I think I paid for the full year. I don't remember what the cost was, but it was cheap enough that I didn't blink an eye. I'm like, wow, I don't have to do this anymore. Like this would take me hours and I'm just having to spend a couple $100. Great. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to drop in this link, right? And what it's going to do is it's going to pull the video. And then I choose a style. Okay, what do we want our reel style to be like? And you can set these up once you get a paid account. You can set it up to have your branding on there so that you just get in and you're clicking the one that matches your branding and your style that you do every single time so you don't have to think about it. But, let's say I'm really digging this one. All right, great.
Hang on,
Now,
hang on. We have
mhm,
to dumb this down for me, please. When you're saying that we have to, it's branding and style, what exactly does that mean?
I will get into that. You don't even have to worry about that if you don't
Thank
want to
God.
worry about that. That is more like one step up. We're just
Thank
going to
God.
focus
I'm
basic
glad
level.
you said that. I'm just glad you
Yeah.
said that. If I said that, I'd be in trouble.
Well, and by the way, I would just like to say the number one reason for people not using AI, I'm just going to guess because this is it for me. I forget.
Yeah.
I forget. I should probably put it on my list of things to focus on is to use AI consistently and keep it literally written down in front of me because I
Well,
forget.
you know what I think would be maybe a better tactic is to sit down and write down all the tasks that you hate doing, that you
Oh,
think are a waste of time, that you completely hate doing, because then it's not about remembering to use AI. It's, oh my God, I get to use AI. This is
right.
going to save me so much time. Like, wow, you get
No, when
excited.
I've done it, it's magic. I love it. It's not that I don't like it. It's I forget. I literally, it doesn't even
Other
occur
things
to
to
me.
use. Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. Sorry.
Well,
This is your Auntie Audrey for you, Megan.
it's okay. It's okay. So we've decided that we like this style, right? We can choose whatever style we want, but we like that one. Now, here's the thing. We're creating micro content, right? Instagram Reels, TikTok Shorts, YouTube Shorts or TikTok videos, right? And all of those are no more than 60 seconds for the most part. So we're going to select 30 seconds. We'll throw in some 60 seconds there because we might have something good to say that needs a little bit longer. So I like to select these two.
Okay.
And then all we're going to do is we're going to click Get Clips. Now, the thing is, this is going to be the longest time consuming part, is sitting here waiting for it to do its thing, right? This is going to be the longest part, but we're going to go back because I already did this. And this part does take like 15 minutes for it to render that whole video and kind of go through. But, check your email, do something else in the meantime, stay productive. So I already did this yesterday. I uploaded, one that you guys did recently with Coach Kathy.
Katie.
Coach Katie. So what it's going to do is it's going to render that whole video, and now it's created different pieces of micro content. Now there's a few things that's important on here. First, you're going to have a virality score. So this one is giving it a virality score of 99. And it says,
Wait, I have to ask, what is a virality score?
this
Yeah.
is how likely it is to go viral.
Okay.
Oh, versus a virility
higher-
score.
The higher the virality score, the better chance that you have of this post going viral. And it will tell you why. This video effectively grabs the viewer's attention with a hook, right? A hook. We mentioned this. We've talked to you guys about the video concept before.
Yeah.
We like to have a hook, a solution, and a call to action. So this says, it mentions the speaker's business has quadrupled. Who doesn't like that? That's engaging.
Yep.
It provides valuable insights on evaluating past performance and applying lessons in the future. A topic of business growth is relevant and sought after. A call to action would enhance the completeness of this video. So let's play this video. And sometimes it can get a little weird. If you were to sign up for this, I'm going to tell you guys right now, it looks like she's sharing screens and you have to have it set up a certain way in Zoom for it to be able to pull in this a little bit better, but we'll see what it came in with.
And my business quadrupled from that moment. It was just like, wow, that was.
Yeah, that's a great exercise to do now.
Yeah.
Look back and say, where did your business come from last year? And then double or
Now, you
triple
can
down.
edit these. So let's say that, we don't really like where this started off because it kind of sounds like it's maybe in the middle of something weird, right? We can come in and maybe we just want to pull a certain aspect to this. Maybe we want it to start at this section and end, somewhere over here, whatever the case may be. Now we're pulling that in and it's going to be a completely new clip. Now you'll notice that they were sharing some screens. So it's a little bit weird because her face is up here and the screen that she was sharing is right here. That's something that we'll want to fix when you guys sign up for this and you are doing your Zoom calls so that it fits it in a little bit better, but we can change this. So they do have the ability here to change layout preferences. Right now it's on auto, but I think for this one, we could turn it to screen share and it might fix it a little bit. Does take a little bit of playing around with, but again, it's kind of a setting that you would want to do. Let's see how many people were on this call. 2 people, 3 people. So you can come in, you can kind of play around with this a little bit and kind of edit this. Let me go back to
And my business.
Let me go back to a different kind of video that I just did yesterday because I've watched this one a little bit more and have the proper kind of setup on the Zoom section. So I was working on John Israel. I did if you guys know Mr. Thank You, amazing live webinar that we did. Check out MBS Highway's YouTube channel. Really just gets you inspired. And this is a perfect time to watch this one, being the fact that it's the end of January while looking back and we're like, did I do my New Year's resolutions or am I giving up right now? This one's going to remotivate you. But again, you'll see here, we got a virality score of 90 with this one.
My nickname is Mr. Thank You. And the reason I got that name is because I actually run a strategic gifting company of the same name called Mr. Thank You. So it's a job. I work with real estate companies, mortgage companies. We help them set up.
So again, we can get in here, we can edit these. And that one's kind of boring. Let's go to a different one because it's kind of just talking about himself, which is fine, but there's better ones here. So let's go into unlocking the power of these habits, right? Still got a good virality score. We can come in here. I've already edited this to where I like it, but let's just go ahead and play it. And can you guys hear, or am I not playing with sound?
No, we can hear.
You're good.
Yep,
Okay,
great.
all right.
Wouldn't say grateful. They wouldn't say appreciative. And they certainly would not say happy to describe me. So that how can that be? How can I be this guy who says he's about elevating gratitude on the planet, but yet I don't embody it in my life at all? So that needs to change. So the second thing that we worked on was habit formation. And my coach had me read this book called The Power of Habit by Charles
So let's
Duhigg.
say we
And
don't want it.
really
Oh, well,
fascinating
stop
book.
sharing the
The
wrong
concept-
screen. Hold on.
This seems easy, Megan. Is it that
It is
easy?
easy. It
Is
is
there
easy.
is there a
So,
tutorial when you log into this to like just watch it and it kind of walks you through?
I don't remember seeing a tutorial, but I'm sure that there is. I don't know.
It sure
It's
seems
really easy to
doable,
use,
even to
though.
me.
And you
You
can
just
come
go in
here.
and start clicking.
Yeah, that's what Kevin does. Might blow up, but he'll get something done.
You can
Listen,
also.
that's how you end up having to pay $500 for something you could have gotten free from
That's right.
Google.
It's true. It's
That's
true.
right.
Let's find this. I liked this one a lot. So I already kind of edited this one. I liked where it starts. We're talking about accessing gratitude. It's a feel good kind of clip from this interview. Now, I like the ratio of everything that it has. One thing that they just added, though, and you'll notice if you're watching Reels, Instagram Reels is my favorite platform, just Instagram in general. So this is what I noticed. But if you're watching Reels, you'll notice that they kind of have B-roll in it, right? And B-roll is where it kind of shifts to maybe, people sitting down, shaking hands, or an image of a house, or, just flips scenes. And it does that because as a viewer, listen, I love looking at your guys' faces all the time. But, you throw in some cute puppies in the B-roll, you throw in some other stuff, and now I really like watching your face, right? It just keeps us engaged. Oh, what's coming next?
Mhm.
So this is in beta right now, and it honestly doesn't work all the time very well, but we can click it and it is going to pull in locations where it thinks B-roll would be impactful within this video. Does take a little bit of time here and sometimes it gets it wrong. I really wish that you could pick the location of where you want this B-roll. But you'll see here, okay, it added some B-roll. So let's play the clip and see where it added the B-roll and what it added.
Wait a minute. Wait, what is B-roll
Has
again?
B-roll is essentially like if you were to come on and talk about the benefits of buying versus renting, instead of it just being your face, which, we love your face, but if I'm watching a video and it's just someone sitting here just like this, I'm going to get tired of it. But if you switch to showing, cash money or someone rolling around in money or whatever the case may be, that's engaging. You want to be like, oh my gosh, I want to be rolling around in money, right? It just keeps our mind kind of engaged in the video because it's switching it up. Other
Right.
people do it by simply changing the angle that they're filming the video, right? Because that's engaging as well, or changing their background, or, people put on character personas and will change characters.
Or
It's kind of
throwing words onto the screen.
what?
So like for rent pops on the screen, or buy now, or you can throw things onto the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, I'll show you what B-roll is. It's going to pop up here in a couple seconds.
ability to access gratitude, regardless of their circumstances, is the most powerful person in the room. The individual who has the ability to access and experience gratitude, regardless of what happens with their deals, in their family, in their personal lives, that person is the
B-roll
most
is
powerful
coming
person
up.
in the room. And I'm going to show you how this
I'm going to show you when it's like some thing of Thanksgiving dinner or something. It pulled in gratitude, right? So let's just re-listen to the words here really quick.
most powerful person in the room. And I'm going to show you.
So I'm going to show you. Let's see what he says next.
Project.
I'm going to show you. I don't know, but we could come in here and maybe we want to put in sightseeing or something because that'll kind of, I don't know, show you. Let's just.
I like that. I can figure out the Thanksgiving thing. Okay, he's saying Thanksgiving.
Gratitude. I get the
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
yeah, you could go something different. Yeah. Oh, I like this.
Let's see or search.
So yeah,
or
so you can pick all these things.
what?
You can pick different options then.
You can put in different words and it will pull in different kind of, AI graphics that fit those words. So I don't know. Let's say that I'm going to show you, I don't know, maybe we're putting in this guy with the book. You get the point though. At the end of the day, you can look at a different kind of, if it's not completely matching what it is that you're saying, you can type in a keyword and it will pull up different aspects attributed to that keyword and you click on it. And then it's going to change the B-roll in that section to whatever it is that you included in it.
Yeah,
So-
no, I did a course with for somebody, and so instead of just having my face on the course the whole time, it was all on video. They literally popped all these screens onto as I spoke, they would just pop these things up every so often. And I was like, that's brilliant, because it's like, yeah, who wants to watch my face all the time? I like me, and I wouldn't want to watch my face all the time. So it's just
This is
it works
editing and
out.
making it more professional in a really easy way.
Easy way, yeah.
So, I mean, it basically was taking work that I never would have done unless I hired someone to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me able to do it.
Right.
It takes something
Right.
that wouldn't have been done and gets it done and
Right.
allows me to be consistent. And so here's the thing. I mean, this is one interview, right? And I typically do these interviews once a month, right? And from that one video, I mean, there's so many different little micro clips. Not all of them work out. I'll be honest. I don't like all of them, but I am able to pull a solid 3 to 4 clips from each video. Now
Wow.
that's 3 to 4 posts, but we're not done yet. Okay, so aside from these where I can download them, what I also like to do is, we're not done then, because you also you have to come up with the caption, right? The caption that you're going to post on this. So what I do is it takes this clip. Let's do a clip that I really liked that I already did. The power of gratitude, right? I liked this one. So I take the clip. Let's go to Chatgpt right now. I go into Chatgpt and I say, can you use this video transcript to write an IG caption?
IG being Instagram,
Yeah, it knows. I guess you could spell it out, but it will.
but it knows IG.
It knows.
It's just making sure all our listeners know IG.
It knows. And it comes up with what it'll say. Now, let's say, I think that is too long. I can say, can you shorten it? And it will shorten it. Such a millennial. I love it. Yeah. And so then what I can do is I can just go ahead and copy and paste that. Right. And this makes it really easy. Now, from one video that I'm already doing, I spend, 10, 15 minutes on Opus Clip. I get 3 or 4 pieces of content from there. Good to go.
Right.
Then I'm going to take it a step further. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get quotes from that long form video that I'm doing. So let me
Wow.
hold up. I'm going to show you guys how I organize this. So hold on. Let me pull that up so that I can show you what it
I
looks
can
like.
think of 15 different ways that Kevin and I can use this with Mortgage
Yeah.
Pros. I can think of ways I could use this in, I did a keynote in December and we've been talking about doing something like this and no one's done it.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
God, this is unbelievable.
It really
Unbelievable.
makes it really easy.
Well, I know a lot of loan officers that do like, videos for clients or, to get loans. And they could easily take these and shorten them up and do things with them. If they already have the hard part is doing the video in the first place. Now the easy part is editing it and shooting out little bits and pieces.
Yep. It makes it so easy.
So we have a
to
question while you're
do
doing
this.
that, whether we'll be sending out the replay, and the replay will be posted on Mortgage Pros 411. You can go and subscribe to our YouTube channel and you should
You'll
get a
get a
pop-up
notice.
when we post a video, and our friend Jason Bellevue is all over it and he does that for us. And I bet you he's going to take this whole information and he's going to use it. It'll be great. So I'm excited.
So this is how I store it so that I know that I am staying consistent, right? My goal for February is to post once a day to my podcast page, which is called On the Highway. If you guys want to check it out, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Megan on the Highway. So my goal is to post every day for February. So I have this already going. So I put the title in there. Now I'm switching it up where I'm going to do a real quote, right? I put the video link in here. So that was me simply just clicking download on Opus Clip, uploading that to my drive, and then putting the link right here. So I have everything all in one place. And then the caption is where I use Chatgpt with that transcript that I just showed you to go ahead and create the caption. So I've shown you how to create the reels. What I'm going to show you now is how to create the quotes from what you just did. And to do that, we are going to go into Chatgpt. And whether I used to have to use this this AI tool called Fireflies, which would transcribe all my Zoom things. But now Zoom already transcribes everything. So you don't even have to do that. You can just go into the file on Zoom afterwards and click download transcript. And then what I did is I simply, now in ChatGPT, you can upload files. And so I uploaded the file, it puts it in here, it puts the whole transcript in here. And then I simply came in and I said, can you pull 10 quotes from the transcript that will get the viewer to want to watch the full episode? So it comes in here and it pulls in 10 quotes.
Wow.
And then I say, I'd like you to organize these into a table. I want the first column to be the quote and the second column to be John Israel. And now it kind of got rid of some of the quotes in here. So, and I didn't like all of them. So I asked it to come up with 10 more quotes, right? And asked it again to organize it in a table. And then what I did is I took this and I put it into an Excel document, right? With the quote and the author. And I saved this as a CSV file. Okay, so save it as a CSV file. And then what you're going to do is you are going to come over to Canva. And I'm just in Canva right now. I'm going to put in, quotes that I want to look at, right? And so let's say that, I really like this one. Great. We're going to customize this template. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to apps. And I went over kind of the same process with you guys last time, creating bulk content using ChatGPT and Canva. So we're going to go to apps. We're going to go to bulk content. Ugh, I'm logged into the wrong account right now. Let's see if it'll, let me log into the right Canva account here so I can show you guys what this actually looks like.
This is gonna be a great one to watch again and again.
Yeah,
It's-
and I'm just looking up when you were here last time so they can find it. Okay, so September 12th of 2023 is the episode that you'll want to look for on YouTube. September 12th, 2023, where she walked through the other process.
That was one of the best videos I thought we've done in a very long time. And it's like, I can't believe everyone hasn't just watched it 100 times.
Well, actually, we had a comment from someone who said
That
that
they have. Yes, I saw that.
yeah, that was from Tiffany. She said, yes, thank you, Megan. I've referenced that past YouTube video many times. So they are paying attention, which is
Yay.
awesome.
We do have a clip from Jennifer. Does the video link that you insert into Opus Clip have to be a publicly accessed site like YouTube? No, you can upload a lot of stuff. It can be a Google Drive link, it can be an MP4 file, it can be a lot of stuff. So okay, so now we're in Canva. This is where we've done the reels. Now we want to do the quotes. So I just went to Canva and I'm just going to go back from the beginning just so you can see the whole process. So right from Canva, from the start of it, I typed in quotes. It pulled up a laundry list of potential, templates that we want to go ahead and use. Let's say that, I really like this one. Great. I'm going to go customize this template. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click apps. I'm going to click bulk creation. Why am I in the wrong one again?
Because you have too many.
I have too many tabs open, guys. Okay. Customize this template. We're going to go to apps. Then from here, we are going to go to bulk creation. We're going to upload that CSV file that we just did. John Israel quotes. Great. Now we have to link the information. So, realistically, I would probably just change this to this guy's name, but I'll show you the ones that I actually did. I took a little bit more time on them. So we have to link up the data, right? So this, I'm going to click here. I'm going to do these 3 dots. I'm going to go connect data. This is the quote. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and do this one, even though I wouldn't want it because it just wouldn't look, it's too small. But let's connect data. Let's connect that to the author. Great. Continue. Great. Generate 9 designs. Boom. That's it. That's all we got to do. Now we have all these different quotes. And then you know what we're going to do? We're going to download this. We're going to upload that into our Google Drive. And we're going to ask ChatGPT to create the caption. And there you go. In a matter of 20 minutes now, I have 9, 14 different pieces of content. Okay. It
How
really
good,
is
how good do we have to be on Canva to make this work?
not good. I barely ever log into Canva. Most of
Okay.
my team does everything else for me, but
Yeah.
I created all of these yesterday, and you can put your branding in here too. So like all of this is, highway branding colors. And so these are all the different quotes that I have from the interview that I did with John Israel. It's
That's
really
cool.
easy.
Great.
It's
Actually, really
really,
cool.
really
Yeah.
easy to create this stuff. And again, we just
And
got
that's an Excel spreadsheet right
Oh.
there. That's Excel.
This is, yep, just within Drive. We use Drive. So, I just have it kind of built out here. I still have a ways to go, but I haven't gone through, the Mike Frat and Tony one yet.
Mm-hmm.
A podcast episode comes out every week. It's so easy to turn those into content to put on social media.
Right.
And, it used to take so long to think about it. That is not an excuse that we have anymore. So I want you, if anyone keeps telling yourself that, throw it out the window, because
Yeah.
with these AI tools, it really makes it really easy to generate content.
Wow. Wow. Oh God, Kevin, she's speaking to us. You know that, right?
You
I
got
know. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, good
I
God.
mean, I'm just thinking, like, I just rewatched one of our videos the other day when we had the memorial for Dave Stevens last week. And, it took me a lot more than an hour to go through an hour video
Yeah.
because you have to stop, you have to take notes. It's like, and it's like, wow, it takes a long, long time. Take probably, if I was going to do what you just did for one video,
Mm.
just to pick out what I wanted, doing without AI, easily 3 hours of just watching the video and noting what I want, what I don't want. And you did all that in like seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although listening to Dave Stevens rant on that last time he was with us,
Yes.
just go off on this unbelievable, really frank, open conversation about what is real in our industry was pure magic. So you want to listen to that, but these tools, Megan, these are going to change the way we do things if
Right.
we actually embrace it, which God, please, Kevin, we must. Okay, so we have a question from Jennifer who said, "Hi Megan, does the video link that you insert into Opus
It
Clip?"
already.
What?
It can be any clip, any
Well,
file. You just kind of upload it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish the question so because everyone can't see the questions. So she wanted to know, does the video clip link that you insert into Opus Clip have to be for, oh, you already answered this. Jesus.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I was
sorry.
saying. Okay. Here.
Good. All
But,
right.
I will say a few things about Opus Clip. So if you guys follow Barry, he comes out with reels, right? And it's not good in those instances. Like if you are already just wanting to film the short form content, like you just want to film a reel talking about why people should buy now versus wait for rates to come down or something, and you're just getting in to film that 30-second clip, Opus Clip is not going to work. What Opus Clip is good for, and honestly, what it's only good for, is taking that long form content and turning it into short form content. Barry sent me one of his reels and was like, hey, that what you used in Opus Clip is great. Use it to edit this. Cannot do it. It's going to take it and chop it up into little micro pieces.
Mm,
So it's
Mm.
not good for that instance. It is
got it.
literally just good for taking long form content and turning it
Turning
into
into short-term contact, not for shortening a long video. Correct?
Not to shorten a short video.
not to shorten a short video. So like if I wanted to create just a 30-second clip on why you should buy now versus wait for rates to drop lower, and I get in and I film a video and it's 30 seconds, it's not going to work to put it into Opus Clip to have it chop it into smaller pieces. But
Right.
if I want to sit down and I say, you know what, it's always, I'll be honest, for me, it's usually pretty challenging for me to think about, okay, how am I going to take this massive concept and really dial it into 15 to 30 seconds. Like that is so hard to do.
Yeah.
But what's a lot easier for me and a lot of other people is to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to film a 20-minute video on, talking about why people should, you know, purchase now versus wait for rates to come down, right? I'm going to sit down, I'm going to talk about competition. I'm going to talk about supply and demand in our area, right? I'm going to maybe mention what has happened historically. I'm going to maybe mention that, listen, if rates do come down into the future, we can always refinance you. So don't let that stop you from making that purchase today because the opportunity exists today, right? It's a lot easier for me to get in and talk for 20 minutes and create a video.
Right.
That is when we want to take that video and put it into Opus Clip to create the micro content for things like YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and Instagram Reels. That's
Right.
what it's good for.
Right. Oh my goodness. Amazing. All right. Anything else on this?
I think there was one thing that I wanted to mention, but I don't remember what it was. So if it comes to me, I will let you know, but no.
All right. Well, then let's, I am going to throw in a few little tidbits about what's going on in the world. While you, and if it comes to you, just let me know. So here's some good news. Consumer complaints to the CFPB were down in 2023, although they did point out that they were down 2.24% from 2022, but originations in 2023 were down 40.6%. So
How'd
they
that
were
happen?
down, but there you go. But it sounds like subservicing and servicers are really the target of a lot of the complaints. So it wasn't like the
As usual,
what?
as usual.
As usual, exactly. I also thought it was interesting because there's all this conversation out there about consumer confidence, right? So the consumer's feeling good about everything and everything's dandy again. And there was this interesting article in Business Insider about how that the reason they're feeling good about everything are gas prices, stock prices, and egg prices. And so it was
Not in California.
it's still so much better than it was. I mean, we're not paying 7 something a gallon, we're paying 4 something a
Oh
gallon.
yeah, but eggs. I just paid $12 for 18 eggs. I was like, holy God.
Okay, well, you
And
just
there was
got
the only ones left on the shelf. They were like gone. There was nothing left. There's another
Kevin,
8.
they'd been sitting there for 97 days, so you probably shouldn't have bought those because that was the old price and the new prices are much lower. So it's funny because they're saying that data-wise, the economic landscape is not terribly different than it was 6 months ago. I mean, the job market's strong, inflation's coming down, consumer spending is solid, GDP continues to grow, but there has been this shift, and again, it has to do with the fact that egg prices, stock prices are up, egg prices are down, gas prices are down. Since November, consumer sentiment has jumped by 29%. Isn't that crazy? So, but then they pointed out that really overall consumers are just feeling less terrible, not that everything's handy dandy, but they're feeling less crappy about everything.
Well, no, you know what was interesting about that?
Yeah.
And no, this is what was interesting about it. If you make 125,000 or less, those are the people that are feeling a little bit more optimistic and confident about the economy. If you make
That's interesting.
125,000 or more, you don't feel more confident.
Okay.
What I think, you know what I think that is? I think it all comes down to, you know, I don't want to pinpoint anyone or, make any statements that, make me sound like I'm not empathetic or anything. I think it's just when you have a certain amount of income, you start to learn a lot more, right? About how can I utilize this income? What does it mean if I put it in the stock market? What does it mean, if the economy is not good? What does that mean to me? What opportunities exist? What should I not do? Right? You just start to learn a little bit more about it. And I think that people, if they're making 125,000 or less, they're just looking at their 401k, right? And they're saying, oh, things are good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so funny you should say that because we did not discuss this ahead of time, but in June of 2023, Quicken did a survey, and 32% of Americans earning at least $150,000 a year are currently living paycheck to paycheck. 36% of folks earning $50,000 to $150,000 a year, and 55% of households earning less than that reported the same. So people who are feeling squeezed at the higher income brackets, and often let's say you make $150,000 a year, but you're
In
in an
California.
area that's really expensive. You know, I mean, like where I live, if you make 150,000 a year and your kids are doing sports, you are SOL. Look up that acronym yourself. I mean, you are gonna be miserable because that is nothing compared, you know, with housing and the gas prices, everything's so expensive. So, anyway, and then another interesting thing to note and something to take into our businesses is the St. Louis Fed has reported that credit card debt, remember when we were like, oh my God, it hit $1 trillion. It hit $1 trillion. Well, by the end of 2023, we were at $1.7 trillion in consumer debt. And so
Wow, on our way to 2.
that is in a few short months, kiddies. I mean, that's crazy, right?
Was that just you, your shopping, Audrey?
Well, I certainly didn't make it better. So, yeah, it is nutsola out there. Okay, but there's some really good things that are going on. So, new rents are down. Megan reported on this morning. So, 0.3 month over month and 1% year over year, which helps inflation numbers, right?
Yes.
Appreciation is super solid. So Case Shiller was up 0.2 in November. We still have December to go, but 5.2% year over year for Case Shiller. FHFA was 0.3, up 0.3 in November, up 6.6 year over year, 6.6% year over year. Say that 3 times fast. No cash buyers or a jumbo are included in those numbers though. So even though we still have December numbers that that haven't come in on appreciation yet, it is looking good. Right?
It is looking good. The housing market is resilient. It's strong. It's,
Very.
it's something we need to
Um,
be getting our clients on.
okay, so another note. So you guys, I just wanted to make a little pitch for cybersecurity, which last week at the NBA conference, it was a big topic because there have been so many
Any
hacks
targets?
into title companies and mortgage companies and everyone, right?
Mhm.
Do not ignore this in your
You
business.
have a target on your computer.
If you're in the mortgage business, you really do, and real estate, frankly, you have a target on your back. These bad guys are looking at us and knowing that we have access to all this information. So for God's sake, don't ignore any sort of information that you get from your company that you should be following. Make sure that you're doing everything to protect you and your clients, all right? And as we heard from our little buddies at the CFPB a couple of times ago, they scrutinize you more once you've been the target of a cyber attack because they're like, why aren't you protecting your clients? Remember that, Kevin?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, and remember the thing I said about last week, like people were sending text messages like with their driver's license and stuff to loan officers and it's like, don't do that because AI is reading those photographs and translating them. And so it makes it easier for people to steal that data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Not to
I was
mention, if you have TikTok, China has all that information. They're tracking everything on every app you're doing everywhere.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. And I was telling Kevin that I've literally started writing in the body of the email when I'm sending my clients a needs list and hey, welcome and here's the link to securely put an application in and all that. I literally say, don't email me anything that has social security numbers or account numbers or any sensitive information. All right. Okay, so
Yet they still do.
right, but at least you have told them not to. Okay, that's really, really important. Okay, so crude
I
oil.
did that with somebody just this weekend, sat down with them. Here is how to do it. Here's a thing here. I just sent you an email here. You click on this thing and you download the documents in there and it's all secure. And then Monday, what do I get? A whole bunch of emails with all the attachments to it. Like,
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't know how many of you guys listened to the debate between um the attorney from the Stitzer Burnett NAR lawsuit and the mortgage and the real estate broker the other day on Housing Wire. Did anyone see that?
I didn't watch it.
do not.
Oh God, that was interesting. That guy is on a crusade though. That is not the last lawsuit that we have seen, as we know. I mean, I know we're seeing a zillion of them happen, be filed daily, but just again, make sure that you're really, really, helping your
Well, Audrey, you
coaches.
mentioned an interesting thing yesterday. We were talking about that lawsuit and how the jury sat through, was it a month of testimony and such like that, and then they came to a verdict in 2 hours. If anyone's ever been on a jury, coming to a verdict in 2 hours is almost impossible, because it takes you that long to pick your foreman, to go over all the rules that they provide you, and then to actually, in theory, count and, your vote. That just doesn't happen, because, you need, all the jurors should be, vocalizing something. For them to have come to a unanimous decision that fast means they didn't weigh the evidence that was given to them.
Well, and just for the record, that information came from Dave Stevens. That was because he was an expert witness in that trial.
Uh-huh.
And that's what he said, is that, yeah, it took them, I mean, they took that, they just zipped through it. But if you're listening to the Housing Wire conversation, the broker said, and I have not verified this information just to cover my tail completely. I don't know if this is true or not true, but it seemed like it was true because of the attorney's response to it, which was apparently a lot of people in that courthouse knew each other. They were buddies, they're related, like the attorney's sister-in-law's something or another who works there, maybe even a judge. I don't know. Anyway, it was fascinating. So we'll see how that thing does in appeals, but good Lord, it is, it was really, I thought it was really interesting. So, and the reason I'm looking down right now is I had taken a picture of something I wanted to share today and I can't find it. So, anyway, moving right along, PCE was much better, personal consumption index. So core, well, headline was up 0.17 month over month, year over year, 2.6%. Core was up 0.17 month over month. And it went from 3.2% to 2.9%, and that's year over year. And the reason, according to Barry Habib and his team, Megan, was that the lag and shelter, is built in there. And if not for that, we'd be at 2.5%. So it's interesting. And if you're annualizing PCE, and the Fed has indicated they do look at this when they're making their decisions, we would be at 1.8% for 6 months and 2.08% for the last 8
So
months.
they should drop rates tomorrow then. That's true.
Okay, but the forecast is they will not be doing that. So do not expect that. And so there we go.
So, the problem is there's all these predictions how much they're going to drop rates, but they have to get it done before the active elections start kicking in. And that would be like July-ish, because they do not want to be seen as affecting the elections.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, it's annoying that that's an issue, but it is definitely an issue. CoreLogic loan performance. I always find this fascinating because it's important how people are paying their mortgages and how they are in the market. 30-day delinquencies ticked up very slightly from 2.8 to 2.9%. 90 days are at 0.9%, which is the same, lowest in almost 25 years. And foreclosures are at 0.3, which is near record lows, and also stayed the same. So those are not getting worse. And again, these servicers are tasked with making sure that they are giving borrowers options and trying to keep people in their properties. Yeah.
Right.
Trying. Well, I mean, they're doing a really good job. I mean, so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I thought was interesting too, as we look down the road, like 10 years, is that JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon is predicting that we are in trouble because our debt as a country is off the charts and just keeps increasing exponentially.
Oh, so Chase is going to start eliminating our credit card debt?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
So I wondered if Chase's guidelines, like if he is thinking that we have too much debt, but he's
And
not.
why they keep issuing more?
No. But really, if you really read into this, I'm just kidding, because he wasn't talking about personal debt. He was talking about debt in the U.S.
Yeah.
The debt the U.S. owes, which is a humongous problem. And so his quote was, "It's a cliff. We see the cliff. It's about 10 years out. We're going 60 miles an hour towards it." And I don't know. I mean, yeah. So there you go. And just need to give a quick nod to the San Francisco 49ers who will be going to the Super Bowl. And there was this interesting article about the financial difference between the 4 NFL quarterbacks that were in the playoffs, right? So we had, most of the guys were making bazillions of dollars. Those are real numbers, actually, by the way, just so you know. And our little quarterback in San Francisco is making
$865,000.
$870,000 and has to have a roommate.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I
Well,
thought
he
that
would, only making 875 in San Francisco, he would have to have a roommate. Yeah.
I know.
Do it.
Okay, that's a bunch of we've actually read that he likes having a roommate, and I think it was 870, but yeah, it was his 4-year contract was $3.7 million. I mean, talk about the Niners getting a deal, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Might be time to renegotiate that.
What?
Might be time to renegotiate.
Yeah, but can you do that? Like, is that even, are you allowed
Sure.
to?
Oh,
He
yes,
has a contract for 4 years. Isn't a contract a contract?
You just said I ain't playing anymore. That's all I
Oh,
gotta do.
really? Oh, yeah, that's really great.
I am not gonna play in the Super Bowl until you pay me more. That's all you have to do is hold out. They'll pay. Shh,
Okay.
don't tell Brock Purdy you can do that.
Okay, so Megan, we have a comment. Great info and demo, Megan. So good job. Thank you. And then Jill would like to know, Kevin, where the hell you're buying eggs. She said that in Orange County at Ralph's, you can get 18 eggs for $7.50-ish, and they're large organic
That's a
pasture
great
raised
idea.
eggs. So
I'm gonna fly down to Orange County and pick up those eggs.
of course. All right. So anyway, and then she said they were happy eggs. If you're not in California, you probably don't. I don't know if you have this nationally, but we had this
ad campaign for
ad
happy cows.
Thank you, Kevin. I couldn't have finished that sentence without you. So anyway, so yeah, happy cows. And because, we all know what some of those farms look or smell like, especially if you drive I-5 between LA and San Francisco ever. And so they were like, they want you to have the picture of the cows out in the pastures, chewing on the green grass and living a wonderful life. So yeah, so she said her eggs were happy eggs and she only paid $7.50. So there you go. Megan, did you think of the other thing that was in that you were thinking?
No, but we do have a few in the Q&A. So can you have Megan on again to show us how to do a 30-second Instagram reel that we can send to clients? Listen, I would be more than happy to come on and teach you guys how to do an Instagram reel. I like to do it within the platform itself, but then we got another one on there that says, are there any other AI apps that can do what Opus can't help on smaller videos? So there are a lot out there. I know you guys had Josh Pitts on. I really like his new Shred Edit app. Kind of like a membership platform. They'll edit it for you. And it's kind of like Opus Clip, but it's for those smaller, like I'm just getting into film short micro content kind of thing. So they will do that for you. And Josh is just a really great guy in general. So feel free to check out Josh Pitts and his Shred Edit app. But it kind of depends on what you need help with. Like maybe you don't need help with the filming, you need help with creating the video scripts. Well, in that case, you can use Chatgpt. You can go in there and you can say, hey, I just read this news article. I want to create a video educating my clients on it. Can you create a 30-second transcript that follows the format of hook, solution, call to action? And the target audience is going to be first-time home buyers. Great. It'll pump it out. Hey, can you make it more funny? Can you make it comical? Can you make it more serious? You can do whatever you want with it, and that'll give you the script. And then you can also use MBS Highway's tool. We have a tool called Social Studio, which turns your computer screen into a teleprompter, and we have done for you scripts in there as well.
That's
the only
cool,
kind of con about that, though, is you can't change your background. Like I really love doing it in the app itself. I use Instagram just within the app itself. And what I often do, if you guys go on, my Instagram account, the Megan Anderson, what I've been doing is taking the news articles or the news that we get or the slides that we present or you see Barry present, and I'll use the green screen effect. And I'll use that to kind of point to the different things, whether it's the topic, the headline number, the whatever. And green screen is getting a lot of traction right now when it comes to the algorithm. So that can be a really great thing to utilize as well. We can talk about that when you guys have me back on to talk about Instagram Reels.
We would love to have you back on. And one of the things I loved the most about what you taught us last time you were on was that you didn't just talk about what you put in as a prompt in the Chat GPT or AI. It's what you tell it not to do. or what, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? That you don't just give it, like the here, do this. It's don't do this too. And
Yeah.
that's really important. So the feedback we're getting today, Megan, is fantastic. And we love you so much. And thank you so much for being here. We joke around that I'm her Auntie Audrey. And so after last week which was really, really rough. This is just sort of like having aloe on a burn. And I am just so happy you were here. So next week, guys, we have a new speaker who's going to join us. His name is Brian Levy. I hope I'm saying his last name correctly. He is a compliance attorney and he speaks at MBA conferences, etc. But he'll be able to answer and talk about some of the compliance issues that are out there. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. And so I'm actually excited about him coming to join us. And just as a last aside, Courtney says that eggs are $2 a dozen in North Carolina. So we won't ask how much she pays for gas. I bet it's not $5
Yeah,
a
it's
gallon right now
$2
either.
a gallon too.
Yeah, although I just heard in North Carolina there is some fee that they pay on real estate transactions, like an upfront fee that is like, or if maybe the seller, or I don't know. I'll have to maybe Courtney will tell us, but it's this crazy expensive fee that is not something even we pay. So
Mhm.
usually we lead the way in prices being too high. And there was one thing where I'm like, yeah. All right, she just said 289. All right. Fair enough. All right, kids, with that, we will see you next Tuesday or on YouTube at Mortgage Pros 411 next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, or wherever you are in between. And Megan, again, thank you. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks, Megan. See you, Audrey.
Bye.